Hello and welcome back. We're back. We're back. It's been a long time, but we're back. It's the Music Shack with both
Ray, hi.
and Jack. Look, we're not calling it Series 2 or Season 2 just yet. That'll maybe come in the future. We just needed a break and there was a lot of things going on. But we're back and we've got a plan to keep consistent.
To put it bluntly, life happened, and
Yeah.
we kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna do this like long 1989 recap, and we're gonna do all this stuff," and then we disappeared off the face of the earth. But we're back, and we're better than ever, and it's the new year, and it's very exciting.
Oh yeah, like happy Merry Christmas if you celebrate. If not, I hope you just had a nice holiday. And happy 2024. This is going to be an interesting year. It's a bit scary.
It'll be the year of Reputation and debut, and
It's an exciting year.
The year that both me and Jack are going to the Eras tour. So it's a big year.
It doesn't feel real. Like I don't know what it is. Like when it came to 2024, I was like, the first thought I had was, I am seeing Taylor this year, and I was like, that is not real. Like I don't know.
Literally, I am so excited for you and for me, and we're gonna have the best time.
Yeah, follow the socials, and we'll be literally spamming things everywhere. So.
A lot has happened while we were gone. Well, not a lot. Actually, it was pretty quiet after the 1989 release. Like, we didn't get any music videos or any promo, and so, like, it was kind of dead. Which, I was kind of upset, because, like, Speak Now got a music video. Fearless got, like, Love Story got, like, the fan video thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, Red got a music video, so was kind of expecting something.
It's just not going to come now either, because she changed all her socials back to midnight stuff, right?
Yeah, she did.
Sad.
It sucks. I know it's not gonna come. It's a shock to me, because it feels like we've gotten everything. We've gotten something for every other re-recording.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like expecting it, especially for 1989, that one of the vault tracks would get a music video. And I think I saw a tweet like ages ago, and I remember it, so I can't remember to credit the person who said this, but somebody said that they think that Slut had a music video because it was initially marketed as the single.
Yeah.
And then Is It Over Now like started to blow up, so like Taylor's team didn't want to kill that by releasing a music video for a different song. So they just didn't release it, which I'm kind of shocked if that's the case.
Like, surely we'd just release it, like, even if you're waiting for the hype to die down, like, release it now. Like, people would still eat it up.
Yeah, we would eat it up. Like, come on.
Any music video or any new piece of, like, work we get from Taylor and the team, would, like, we're going to obviously just, like, do what we can just be obsessed with it, because that's literally all we do. That's a good point, though, with Slut, because they had, like, the pink branded on, like, they had, like, even on Genius and stuff, like, the pink, like, Slut over the album cover. So that's actually a good shout.
Yeah. Some stuff has happened since Taylor's The Eras Tour movie came out on demand.
Yep.
It was nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yep.
And Taylor has been out and about in New York with friends. She's been going to football games. She's been having the time of her life on her little break. And honestly, she should.
Yeah, like, the night we're recording this is the 14th, and if you've seen clips of the 13th, quite actually on brand, but, like, I wanted to be in that room. Did you see them swaying? They were having the best time in their lives.
Oh my god, yes.
They were
and,
having
the jacket
so fun.
was so cute.
Yes, oh my god.
I'm happy that, like, especially just, like, with Travis and stuff, I think we've gotten to see so much of Taylor. Like, even, like, after the Joe breakup, I think we just got so much more, like, photos of her at dinner with her friends and stuff we never got before. Or, like, well, we did get before pre-Joe, but, like, while she was with Joe, we barely got that kind of stuff. So it's nice. At the Golden Globes, she didn't win the award, but she came in this beautiful green dress, which is honestly such a troll.
Yes. But it's typical Taylor fashion, right?
Yeah. Oh,
To
yeah.
do this to
Typical
us.
Taylor fashion. Because, like, she knows that to us, like, green is debut, but also it's, like, rep as well. Like, it's snake. And, like,
Yeah.
the way the dress was, it totally could be, like, snake-esque. And then, like, it was just so interesting. And I don't know. And then I think the dress is beautiful, first of all. I think she looks so good.
I think if it
But
was to
Jack,
give
what do you
off
think?
like any type of rep, like type of era, I think it was rep. Like, see, it looks more like snakeskin, but then she was also
Yeah.
spotted wearing another green dress, and this is I have to shout about this because this is like from a Scottish designer. But it's like it was like £58, and people were like, "Oh my god, she's finally wearing something we can afford to buy."
So, I bought it.
Oh, did you? Let's go. That's so fun.
Yeah, I bought it. And I looked on their website. I mean, they're such a cute company, and I never would have found that without Taylor. And, like, the dress looks really nice, so I might wear it to one of my Eras shows, maybe. I don't know.
That'd be so
That'd be
fun.
cute.
It's been funny. Like, a lot of people have been like, "Oh my god, does this mean that debuts?" Because this is more of like a debut, like sort of like
It's
vibe.
But the problem is with that dress, and Jack, if you put a photo up on the YouTube video, maybe for people who don't know, she was wearing those boots, right? The like brown leather boots, and they had like a snake on them, like a snake-esque kind of thing on the boots, but then they're also like cowboy-esque style.
She's really just messing with us. Like, she's like,
So
"Oh, what can I do
messing
to
with
like
us."
completely throw everybody off what's coming next?" Because we've clowned so hard over the break, and we've just keep clowning.
It's interesting. Oh yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about it, but the clown at Sao Paulo.
She literally said rep to her and like everything on the night.
Everyone, literally every single person on my timeline fully believed we were getting the rep announcement, and it just never happened. And it was so funny. That was so fun.
I just want to know what's going through her head. Do you think she'd seen all the rumors and like stuff online, and that's why she said rep? Because that's like, there's no way that's in your like I don't know what, like, because there's a clip of her obviously being like talking about being on like the Eras tour and like being there and stuff, but like she says rep, and it just made us clown even harder. But it was like, why is that even in her like vocabulary at the minute?
Mind.
Like, yeah, like what's going on?
I think she got confused because were people chanting Reputation?
Oh yeah, they were actually, yeah.
So I think that must have been it, because I think she heard that and then was like flustered.
She's probably like, "What are you talking about? That's not coming out for like a couple months."
She probably like, yeah, she's probably like, these people are insane. Like, what have I done to them? Which honestly valid. Yeah. But then like, even at the top of the boots, like, it has that like newspaper thing, which is obviously like rep style as well. Yeah. Like, it's just, I don't know, Jack. What's your take on what we should expect next, Reputation or debut?
I still like the idea of rep next, and then that sort of like does like the talking, and then debut is her claiming back her name with her like her name, like her debut album, like her named album. And I'm still, it goes further and further away every time we don't get rep, but like the initial theory was, at least that I heard and I've been kind of following and been stuck to my brain because I just need it to happen, was that debut would be announced to like night one in Edinburgh. So it's like, that was my dream, because debut is like all time like loved album, of course, that like a lot of people do. But the further that rep gets away from its initial like sort of thought announcement date, like isn't filling me with a lot of hope. But I think the way she's gonna do it has to be rep first, surely, and then like debut last.
I think I think I agree. Like, I think it makes the most sense that rep comes next. I think she's like totally trolling us with the green. Make us like think otherwise. But I think rep has to be next. I think we talked about this on the podcast like ages ago, but I think it was that rep tour started in Tokyo.
I have a quick fact check.
Let me just look it up. I think it started in Tokyo, potentially. or it ended in Tokyo. Sorry.
Yeah. And then when does this?
It ended in Tokyo, so like that she would announce Reputation in Tokyo, when she's touring there, like I guess in a few weeks now, which is
February
insane.
7th is the first day, I think, which would be interesting, like to come back on the first show. And like, is it the thing is though, is it a night 1 thing, or is it a night 4 thing?
Yeah, I
If it
don't
was
know.
to happen,
We'll see what happens. I mean, we will be here covering it when it does happen.
or we'll be screaming and loving it. But yeah, that's hopefully it's soon.
Yeah. Another thing that happened while we were gone was the Grammy Awards nominations came out.
Yeah.
So Taylor was nominated for 6 awards. Best pop vocal album, best pop duo group performance, best pop solo performance, song of the year, album of the year, and record of the year. So I think Midnight's is a good contender for album of the year, and I think Antihero could also win record of the year. I think that would be slay. I think she's like good chances of winning this year.
Yeah, the only thing I think she comes up against in a lot of the categories is obviously like she's up against a lot of like Olivia Rodrigo stuff as well as Boy Genius, but I think the constant comparison you'll see is seen as like SZA and SOS, because SOS like
I think SZA is like probably her biggest competitor. I love that Boy Genius was nominated for album of the year, and I love that Olivia was nominated. I think they deserve the nomination. I think they have a chance of winning. Not really.
There's a lot of people in that category that like, I think just the numbers they done and like the whole like art of the album, like the whole sort of like final construction of the album, like SOS is like a really hard like album to beat. Like it's stunning from like start to finish. Like the visuals and everything are amazing.
I think the Grammys usually goes one way or another with the way they choose winners for things, and it's either like popularity is like a really big factor for them, and I think if popularity was like the biggest factor for them, Midnight's would win.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about sound, if you're thinking about, like impact, I mean, Midnight's has a lot of impact, but if, like I said, like sound and stuff like that, and like changing the game kind of thing with an album, I mean, I think SOS has that. So honestly, I just took a look at all the nominations again, and I read through them, and I do feel like it's a battle between Midnight's and SOS for album of the year.
So it'll be interesting. But we have obviously got Gracie and Noah, a nice spice as well. If we're looking at like the ones that we sort of talk about
for best new artist,
that's gonna be a tough category.
Let me just look at that. I think. Okay, I love Gracie. She's no chance of winning. Like, I'm sorry. Everyone else on this list is like above and beyond her in terms of impact and sound and everything, and like establishment as well in the industry. I think Gracie's great, and I think she totally deserved the nomination, but she's not winning. I think Noah could definitely win. I think Ice Spice is probably who I would say would win. I think it's pretty much a big toss up for me between Noah, Victoria Monet, because I think Victoria Monet has the similar thing as with what I said with SOS. I think it's not the popularity factor, but like the actual musical factor, and then I think Ice Spice has the popularity factor, so like she might win based on that, because obviously her year was like massive. But I think like a combination of both would be Noah. Fred again is decent choice as well, but I don't know Fred again well enough to be able to give an
I'm actually quite surprised. I feel like Fred again is really big over here in the UK. I obviously don't know how to like measure it against like the US or like Canada or anything, but like I think the genre of music most listened to over here is very similar to like what Fred makes, So
Yeah.
that's like, I'm interested to see. I'm like surprised when the nominations came through, and because the Grammy is such an American thing, right? So like it was
Yeah,
interesting to see.
to be nominated as a like international person for the Grammys, if you're not a like American or Canadian, it's 10 times harder.
Yeah,
Um, like I think I saw some people talking on Twitter like, "Oh, why wasn't Maisie nominated for Best New Artist?" And it's like, well, she's not even been nominated for a Brit Award before. Like, it just would
yeah,
be weird for her to be nominated for a Grammys, which is American based. Um, so I think it's a big feat for Fred again to even be on this
yeah.
list. But I don't know if Fred again is nearly as popular here. Maybe not more in my circles, but in other people's circles. Because I've heard Fred again's name a lot, but it's mostly from like my British friends.
Yeah. No, like yeah, I think it's a very like British like thing, but it is really cool to see. But this category is probably the hard. Like, I don't see any way this category is like predictable. I think Noah would be really cool, but at the same time, like when you have like artists like as big as like Ice Spice and like the Warren Treaty and stuff, like in terms of like they're all spanning different genres. Um, it's hard. Like Ice Spice had a really good year last year, but at the end of the year, I haven't heard as much about like Ice Spice.
Yeah.
Like sort of happened with like social media. Social media died down on stuff, and then you don't really hear. But that's always what happens. And if you're not in their circle listening to their new music or like sort of being tuned in,
It's
like it's one of those artists where like you probably won't hear until like something else happens and they like back onto social media.
Yeah.
But they're talented, and like everybody on this list is incredibly talented. So it'll be interesting to see who
Incredible.
wins that one. Yeah.
We probably will do more digging into the Grammy noms. I think it would be fun to do like a whole YouTube video with predictions for each category.
That would
and
be
then
really cool.
See if
Yeah.
we were right.
That is such a good idea. Okay.
And so stay tuned for that, I guess.
Yeah, it's now happening.
Am I missing anything that we missed during our break that you think is important to talk about?
Yeah, generally, I think there's nothing else other than what we spoke about. There is other things, but it's more like Kelsey, like Travis Kelsey and Taylor stuff, or it's more like the whole just the usual stuff that happens and like like things about Taylor.
I
and
will
everything.
say that like we on this podcast, we are called the Music Shack. We talk a lot about music. Like we talk about the Grammys. We love doing music critiques, music reactions. We talk a lot about Taylor because we're Swifties. But we don't really dive into like her personal life. We talk mostly about like Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And just the music and the concerts because those are the things that we love. And so if you're looking for that, I mean, we're not talking about it in this podcast. So
as long as Taylor's happy,
slay.
we're happy. That's all we want.
Exactly. So I think we did miss Spotify Wrapped.
Yes.
So we could do a quick recap of our Spotify Wraps individually.
Yep.
Do you want to go first, Jack? We can maybe go through our top 5 artists first, and we can compare them because I think me and Jack have very similar music tastes, so it's going to be interesting to see how different it was.
So, top artists we're gonna start with. Number 1 is Taylor. I think that's quite like understood.
Valid.
Yeah. Second was Maisie, which we love. Maisie Peters, iconic. Third was Gracie. Huge fan of Gracie. 4 was Noah. And 5 was Biba Doobie,
Slay.
which was awesome.
Nice. I had 3 out of 5 of the same as yours. I had number 1, Maisie Peters, shock horror. Number 2, Taylor Swift.
Iconic,
Shock.
yep.
Number 3 was Gracie. Number 4 was Easy Life, and number 5 was Olivia Rodrigo.
I love that Olivia and Easy Life's on there.
I know. I kind of was shocked that Olivia made it. I guess I listened to so much of Guts in the second half of the year, or like after it came out, because I barely listened to her like previously, just because her catalog was so small. And then
Yeah.
when Guts came out, I listened to that a lot. So I think, and like Vampire, I listened to a lot when it came out, and you know, all that. So that must have been what pushed her up there. But that's crazy to me still.
Yeah, no, it's a good list though. What about your top songs?
My top songs had not very much variety.
Right.
I had Body Better by Maisie Peters
Yep.
as my top song.
Uh,
Lost the Breakup by Maisie Peters as my second top song. My third song was Watch by Maisie Peters.
oh my gosh, no way.
My fourth top song was You've Already Won by Greta Ray.
Love that.
Slay.
Slay.
Amazing song. Listen to it if you haven't. And my fifth top song was History of Man by Maisie Peters, the now viral hit.
Yeah, let's take a
Vomit.
minute to talk about that before we go back to mine. That's
okay.
crazy.
It's so weird that History Man has just like randomly gone viral. Like, I don't even think there's much push by her.
No,
for it
she's
to,
on
like, go
holiday right
viral.
now.
Just like, yeah, it just randomly went viral on TikTok, and like everyone's talking about the lyrics, and I'm like, we appreciated this before you.
Yeah.
And like then people started talking about Yoko. Like, I had one of my friends text me like, oh my god, these lyrics to Yoko are so good, and like I was like, you know, I like Maisie, you've never listened to her music before, and now you're telling me she's eating. Like, stop this, stay away from her. But also very proud.
I'm afraid this is obviously it's been like Maisie is someone who I hold like really close to my heart in terms of like an artist that like I still found relatively like small, but not like hugely small like you did.
Yeah.
But this is like the scary part and the sad part where these artists like just go clear after this point. Like, Maisie's obviously grown a lot, even in the last like what two and a bit years since I listened. Like, but the growth from like this type of stuff that happens is like where you genuinely like begin to see like a whole new area of the fan base like collect and gather.
It's scary. It's scary. Stay away from us.
It must be
Jack,
hard.
I need to know your top 5.
Okay, you ready? This one's not hard in terms of like this was like literally the number 1 last year. You're on Your Own, Kid. Love it. It makes me sad. It makes me cry. It's so fun.
Yes. Love that.
Thanks. Body Better number 2. Lost the Breakup number 3. I am a little bit salty that these are the songs on my thing. I love both the songs, but it is just because of how starved and depraved we were before the singles came out. So we all listened to the singles like hugely.
I listened to Body Better and Lost the Breakup on repeat because they were the only songs we had for the longest time. That's why they're my 1 and 2, not because they're my favorite The Good Witch songs at all. Like, I mean, like, they're good.
Yeah.
But, you know,
no, that is like such
better.
a good. There's a huge contender, like huge amount of contenders on the album. So like, yeah, they are good, but it's just a lot to go against. Right, number 4. Like, I love Baby Queen, and I need to talk. In fact, that's something that happened. I don't know if you've been on Instagram, but now Baby Queen's hair, Bella's hair, is like back to blonde. It's no longer pink, and I'm sad. I'm so sad. It still looks awesome, but it's like
it does.
It was iconic, that like dusty pink. It was so good.
I liked the pink.
I know, it's sad. It's a new era, even though the new albums just came out, but it's okay. So number 4 was I Can't Get My Shit Together, and this is something that I need to. I've listened to this song like a couple of times when I listened through the album, but that's not the song that I've ever went back to just to listen on its own. So I don't know how it's ended up there.
So somehow it ended up there.
I don't know, like, because even when I listened to it, like, after the Spotify Wrapped came out, I was like, I don't remember this song at all.
That's crazy. Because so Spotify does it by minutes listened versus times listened. So like a song like All Too Well 10-minute version can easily creep its way to the top, even if you haven't listened to it as many times as another song that's 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like, it's not even a long song that like, oh, it would creep its way to the top even when you listen through the album, because it's the longest song on there. Because I don't even think it is the longest.
No, it's like one of the. I'm on the album now. It's the second shortest song.
That's crazy.
So I really I don't know what's happened, but we have to accept it. It's fine. And then Difficult was 5. Difficult is, I love that. So ever since
Love
yeah,
that.
Good Riddance is just an awesome album, but like Difficult was the one.
I wish I had more variety on my songs list, because like, yeah, like if I look at like my top 100 songs, I have like all of the Good Witch, all of Good Riddance. I have most of Stick Season, though like my Stick Season obsession was mostly last year, I think.
Yeah.
So that's probably why not a lot of it was on it. And then yeah, a lot of Stick Season. I had a lot of like Positive Spin. I had a lot of Guts. And I'm like, I listened to all these different albums, and like my top songs are just so crazy. Like, so I promise I do have variety in my music taste, but it's just that, you know, obsessiveness happens.
It's okay. It's you couldn't have picked a better artist to like have all there. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like your top 5 like shows that like variety so much more, which I wish I had.
Well, next year you've got next year, and maybe this next artist will be on it. God, we're back at the Swigways. Ariana Grande has returned.
Yes, Ariana Grande has returned. Famously Ray's childhood obsession artist. Don't judge me, but no, I'm like, for real. Like, I'm so for real. Like, I think I was so excited when she announced this, because I think I've talked about this before, but Positions didn't really hit for me. It's I think it's my least favorite Ariana album, and I just kind of was like, and then she stopped releasing music, so I just kind of zoned out of like paying attention to her.
Yeah.
And then I saw she's finally releasing music again. It's like, I saw that the song, like, she pretty much produced by herself. And like, I was so excited. I was like, this is gonna be like Thank You Next vibes. Like, she wrote it quickly.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be like so good. Because Thank You Next, I think, is my favorite Ariana album, because it feels like when you listen through it, it feels really raw, and like, this is a piece of work that she wanted to put into the world. Whereas like some of her, like My Everything, I think, is a good example of that kind of album. And same with Positions. It's like, it seems like she's just putting an album together of like what songs that might be like good for radio, and that's it. Like,
yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like something you want to share with your fans or your community. It's just like, I want this for like money almost, and it just like pisses me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was really excited because I saw all these things, and I was like, kind of like, this is gonna be really good. The song comes out, I listen to it. I see a lot of like negative hate online. Obviously, I'm still gonna give it a chance. My reaction at first was, I don't like this. I think the lyrics are cute.
Yeah.
But I think the sound is very like, it's weird. Like, it's like somebody online described it like it's like Beyonce's kind of sound. It samples Vogue by Madonna. Apparently, I think.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I think it's interesting. It just like, I don't think it's bad. I think it's just not for me. Like, it's not something that I listen to. Like, I love Beyonce. I respect her. I think she's absolutely incredible, but her music is not like, it's not something that I listen to every day, just because that's not the sound that I like. So if this is going to be the sound of her new album, I don't think I'm going to like it as much on a personal perspective, but I do think it will be successful with the people who do like that sound.
Yeah. I don't even have like too much to add to that, because I think you've summed it up really well. Like, I'm not the biggest like Ariana Grande fan in terms of like, just I don't really tune in to like new music, and it's like one of those artists that you listen to, and you listen to their old stuff and like love it, and you listen to their new stuff whenever it comes on. It's not something that like, I don't have any hatred or dislike or anything like that. But I think so. I listened to this, and I think it was kind of the same reaction. Like, I really like that she's like sort of not so much taking it in a different direction, because I think this is her sort of new style, as well as like with stuff sampled in, and like it's sort of been like quite fast. But something feels sort of different about it in a weird way. Like, I don't know if this album is going to be for me, but a lot of artists do this, where they like put their like some of their most like new, like their new style, or their like sort of test they test these songs as singles and like,
as the single.
and it might not be the whole album
But
as like this, so it would be interesting
it's
to see.
weird. It's weird for me because like I think we talked about this when Guts came out, because like the same thing. Like I think Olivia did like almost the exact opposite. Like Vampire probably has the most similar sound to Sour.
Yeah.
And she made that the single to like ease people into it, which I honestly think is a better strategy than like if Olivia were to put a song like Get Him Back, which is extremely popular, as the first single. I just don't think it would do as well because it would shock people. It'd be like, oh my god, like this isn't, you know, this isn't the same sound that we knew you for. And so then like it just wouldn't pick up as much. But like having that as an album single, once like people are more used to that sound, I think it worked really well for Olivia. And I think we haven't heard the album, so we can't really judge like we can't judge like what the sound of the rest of the album is going to be in relation to this single.
Yeah.
But I think if there's songs that were more similar to her old sound, but like slightly moved in this direction, it would have been a better choice for first single than this one. But I think lyrics wise, I can get why she wanted to make this the first single, because it's like a big comeback of like, you are all talking shit about me kind of thing, but I'm back, bitches kind of vibe in the lyrics. So like it's the perfect song to be a first single from a lyrics standpoint, so I get it.
Yeah, I think it's, Ariana Grande, it's an exciting return. Like it's, a lot of people have waited this for so long, so I think we'll just have to wait until we get like a second single. If we do, hopefully it's not just like a solo single rollout. But it'll be interesting to sort of fully gauge the sort of like feel of this album. But the lyrics definitely are always an Ariana strong point when it comes to like telling a story, and that's been done here again. Like I'm not hating it, it's just not my sort of sound that I'm used to, but I also don't dislike it coming from Ariana Grande. Like I think with the amount of talent that she has, it's like, go for it, like genuinely.
I've seen exactly what I said. Like I completely agree. I think I've seen a lot of people on Twitter really like this song, and I've seen a lot of people not like it, and I think it's just a change. Like I said, like it samples Vogue by Madonna. It's very similar to Beyonce's sound, so I think people who are fans of those artists will really like this. And like I think for you and I, we just like the music that we listen to is very different, so it's tough to like. One thing I'll say is it's like, so like the beat, they put something in the beat because it's like really catchy. Like I listened to it once on shuffle and then I'm like, why is this song stuck in my head? Like it's funny.
It's like a interesting, but then that's also good because I think it gets people talking about it, even if it is bad. Like, and not in bad, but like if people have a bad reaction to it, like it still gets people talking about it, which is just the thing you need when you're like returning. And to divide the internet is, in this day and age, is something that's actually is quite like hard to do successfully, and I think if anybody was to do it, it would be Ariana Grande. So it's really exciting to see what's going to come like after this, and we'll be listening to more of it, so stay tuned. I'm excited.
When it comes out, we will definitely do like a little recap of it. So if you're an Ariana Grande fan and you want to hear us do that, be sure to subscribe. Yeah,
and you never know, she might be on your Spotify Wrap next year. If she was this year, let us know in the comments and everything. We'll sort of react to everything, use them in. But
if you guys want to share your Spotify Wrapped with us, it's a very late because it's 2024, but we will still look at them. We will roast you if it's awful. We will praise you if it's good. You know, whatever you want. We love it.
Yeah, and if we're on your Spotify Wrapped, because I noticed when I got us, like I wasn't like the number one listener, so I don't know who was, but if that's you, thanks. But tweet us or something, and we'll react. Like we'll obviously see it, which is really cool. Hopefully we'll be on more people's next year.
If you listen to us on Spotify, we love you. Well, we love you if you're listening anywhere.
Apple
Yeah,
had one as well,
but-
to be fair. I don't know if I had podcasts on it.
Yeah.
And then I think Tidal had
I
one
think
as well.
every
I think,
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Tesco
think
had
every
one.
podcast platform. Tesco.
Tesco had a rap,
Oh, yeah.
so everyone does.
There's also train line rap.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. I love that. It was so funny. Oh, gosh.
Sorry, that's sidebar for people who aren't British.
Do you want to
Anyway,
quickly get us into 2024 by, like, sort of giving us a quick rundown of concerts that you've got maybe coming up?
yeah, I have a lot of gigs planned for 2024. I mean, so does Jack. I'm seeing Eras Tour potentially 4 times. Potentially. And I don't know how many times you're seeing Eras Tour in 2024, Jack.
I kept this gatekeeped for so long because I was scared to get attacked.
Do it.
But
We're not going to get
possibly 6 times. In fact, no, it's going to be 6 times. And it
Possibly
possibly more if I can get any resale tickets. But I'm not going to take them off anybody, or I'm not going to, like, make it a thing. Like, if it comes up when
Yeah.
I've got the opportunity to do it, then I'll do it. But, like...
Oh, yeah. We're not hating on this podcast. I'm not hating. If people are haters, fuck off, okay? You
We're
can
fans.
get tickets too.
Yeah, we just want to see fans see Taylor, and we're fans, so we want to see Taylor.
Like, we want everyone to get tickets, but the problem isn't us, it's scalpers. So attack them, not us.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
exciting.
And you're seeing Olivia, aren't you?
Yeah, one day.
And Noah.
And Noah, yeah, February. I seen Noah before, like, after we went off of, like, our break and stuff, and it was, like, one of the
Right.
best concert experiences of my life.
Oh
So
my
I can't
God,
wait to see it in
yeah.
a big
He's-
arena. Even though I like
is
the whole,
so
like,
good
small,
live.
like, vibes of it, but this will be interesting.
Yeah. I'm seeing Noah twice as well in
Fun.
April. I'm seeing Dylan probably in April. I'm seeing Olivia Rodrigo if I can get tickets.
Iconic.
If anyone's selling tickets, let us know. We need Toronto and Edinburgh tickets, so sell them to us.
Yep, do that.
For real. Yeah, so we both have lots of gigs planned, I think, and hopefully there will be more announcements for gigs in 2024, so we can make the list longer, and every time we do a gig, we'll have, like, a long-ass recap of
Yeah.
everything about it.
Oh,
Hopefully not bad. Like, we did have some horror stories last year during our gigs, but
yeah.
we won't have any of those this year. Let's hope.
We have to manifest it into life. Yeah. There's, like, I think January, February is always quite quiet, so hopefully stuff will be coming up.
Yeah.
And you'll hear more about it. We're sort of planning to, like, try and take this podcast in, like, the same route, but, like, in a different way.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do that. We're gonna stay consistent. We're gonna be uploading on socials and stuff. Through, like, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter or X, and just see what we can do.
Boo.
Yeah, but a plan we have is to sort of. We had this last year where we were kind of doing it on the podcast, but I think we're going to try and keep the podcast to, like, minimum or maximum 45 minutes, unless something happens, and then we'll do, I think every 2-3 weeks or whenever it comes around, we want to do, like, a dive into, like, an artist, so, like, maybe one that we've heard of before, maybe one we haven't heard of before, and, like, do like a discography breakdown. Same. And we're gonna be spammed with so many ideas. But if you have any ideas listening,
Let us know.
yeah, let us know either in, like, Discord or it's all links are, like, in the description of, like, everything, like, on everything. So, like, Twitter, Instagram, is all in the description of, like, all the podcast websites and like, YouTube and stuff.
And we'll be doing more like videos, like, you know, song reactions, music video reactions, things like Grammys predictions, everything that you guys love, we will do like videos. So and then we'll have the podcast every week that'll be short and sweet, like 45 minutes, like Jack said. And then all those other things that maybe we tacked onto the podcast, we're going to make them separate videos. So if you're an audio listener and you follow us on Spotify, you follow us on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts, head to our YouTube channel. It's just Music Shack with Ray and Jack. Type that into the search bar. It should come up. It's also like go to one of our socials, like, and you can get the link from there as well. Yeah, head to our YouTube channel, click subscribe, and if you turn on the notification bell, you know, all that fun jazz. And if you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed, also subscribe. And then so that you don't miss anything, because it's going to be a fun year and we're going to do our best to stick with it, you know?
Yeah, and we want to be number one, just like Taylor was on Spotify. Finally, we're going to end off with this small convo about how Taylor took over the weekend and became Spotify's number one artist, top artist, at the end of 2023.
Top artist.
And it has sadly been taken over again,
crazy.
but like the weekend is just like in so many genres and
too
like,
powerful.
genuinely, like I think it is only by like a million, but it is like that's obviously a lot. But
listen to Taylor if you don't, so we can get a female up at the top.
so true. But we're gonna have it 100% when Rep comes out and debut, and I'm still believing that there's gonna be either this year record store day release, either this year or next year, of a live album, like including all the songs recorded live at the Eras tour, and I think that's going to be something that we're going to get.
I think that will be really expensive. I think that
will
be
be
4 or 5 discs.
Oh, it'll be so
That is
expensive.
crazy. like yeah, because it'll be like I think it'll be like 5 discs to do that. Which is a lot.
So it will be a lot. But I don't know how they'll do it, but I think there's just going to be something.
She'll do something for Record Store Day. What it is, we don't know. But
maybe
we will hopefully get it.
Evermore.
We will
pawn
gatekeep
sessions
it until we get it, and then we'll tell you about it. No, I'm kidding. We will tell you about it.
Yeah, after all the scalpers get it, it's impossible to get. Oh, well.
We'd rather fans get it than scalpers.
That is true.
Fuck scalpers.
What an amazing thing to end the podcast on. Fuck scalpers.
Yes. Thank you for listening. And we will see you guys next week and the rest of the year. So,
yeah.
slay.
Slay. Have an amazing day. Bye.